Hey there, fellow travelers. Mark here with Wolters World, and we want to say thank you very much for the 500,000 subscribers that we hit this week. That was so awesome. On Monday night, we were here, and we're just sitting there watching, and it was funny because our friend was over, Donna. You might see her in the video for it. And she's like, "Oh, you're so close. You might get there tonight." I'm like, "Nah, we won't get there tonight." And then the views started coming quicker and quicker. I'm like, "Well, let's post and see what people say." And then it was going and going and going, and so we actually had like a little party here. Kind of watching it click by. So it got, I mean, it was like, we were kind of excited, but then as it got closer and closer, it got like even more funny and more exciting. And then we hit it. It was funny because we got the 500,000 and then we like lost 3 subscribers and went below. We're like, no, it was really kind of funny. So it is nice. Yes, Henry Johnson will be joining us. Caleb has a project. He didn't quite get his stuff ready. And I don't want to have a deal with the 12-year-old tween. You guys know how that goes. Anyway, so Jocelyn will be down here in a sec, but it was really cool. We just want to say thank you for everyone that was a part of that. It was like watching on Instagram or Twitter. We were kind of filling things in. Couldn't figure out how to do the live stream because I was using the computer to watch the live sub count and stuff like that. So that's why you have that. But at least we got to film the part of it so we can show you guys how it was. So that was kind of cool. So we do have that. So that was a really nice kind of thing. So we really want to say thank you to everybody who has supported us over the years. 500,000 subscribers. Never in a million years did I ever think we would get here. So it is really, really cool. And hopefully we'll get to a million one of these days. But it was really, really an awesome time. So we want to say thank you to everybody that did that. And so today's video, I didn't get one out this morning because we're gonna do this live feed. We had a good time celebrating. I got in the video yesterday for for us doing the live thing, so we'll have a good time there. Anyway, so we want to say thank you. Josh, you want to say something?
Hey, sorry I'm late and a little perturbed. Man, school projects, man, they can really be a bummer.
Yeah.
Anyway, but so the other night was amazing and it was really fun. It was totally impromptu with some friends here, and it's amazing that we've started and somehow 500,000 people like us enough to subscribe, and it's really a flattering thing. So anywho, hey y'all, and let's get to some questions. Yes,
So there was some questions. Very nice. There were some questions before, like when are we going to be getting to Scotland? And I'll be actually there this summer again with my mom. We're doing a little genealogy thing. My mom found her history in the Shetland Islands and the family and stuff like that, and so we're going to be going to see where her family's from, and so it's kind of a cool thing. So we'll be Edinburgh to see our buddy Scott and see him and have a drink and have a good time. So we'll be there for that. Now let's see what some other questions are. Do you see anyone went by?
they went really fast.
Okay. Anyway, so I'll go one here. So Eli Wallace, hey Mark, congrats on the subs. Thank you. Thanks for advice about being a foreign exchange student at 14. I talked to my parents, and while they did say I had to be older before I could study abroad, they were at least thinking about it. I'm glad, Eli. I'll be honest. If you, at 14, I would be kind of worried
A
too.
little nervous too.
Yeah, but the thing is, there's some short-term programs, like some 10-day ones and stuff like that, to get a feel for it, so your parents feel more comfortable with it and things like that. But I'm glad we could help, give you some stuff to talk about with your parents so you can think about it. So you go at 15 or 16 or 17 or when you're in college or just whenever. There's a lot of opportunities out there. So Henry says hi, by the way.
Hi, Henry. How are you? Hola.
So, and then Matthew writes, hey, when are you guys going to get to Havana, Cuba? We're trying to get there at the end of this year. We're working on that right now. So keep your fingers crossed.
On my list for like a decade.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yes, that's the song, buddy.
Yeah.
Gallagher him, hey, when I can afford anything, I'll get a t-shirt. Thank you whenever you can. We do appreciate it. We do these special t-shirts. If you see over here, we've got a few. Oh, you lost your guy. There you go. We have a few things going by. So to celebrate the 500,000 views, we got the t-shirts. So that's the quarter zip that you'll see me wearing a ton of the videos. That's the actual one. We have that online for sale. We have a few other ones on there. There's an Italy theme one. You might not be able to see it, but if you go to shop.waltersworld.com, you can see all the stuff there. They have women's cut, men's cut. We got kids size. We've got husky traveler size. We've got everything on there because you guys have been so awesome for so long. We're like, let's give some options. We have a UK themed one. This one here, the one you're seeing now, has got the subscriber number on the back, which is kind of cool. We've got all kinds of good stuff coming, and so there's the one who has to work on this project. So
just scrape off that top layer. It'll be fine. I promise.
Anyway,
I'll be right
okay.
up. Jose, obrigada. And Julius, that is really awesome. 3 a.m. is quite something. Y'all, I have to go help him with a project for a minute. I'll be back.
Yeah, so you can talk to everybody, Liam. No, okay. So Pink Pearl Disney Wishes, a brand new subscriber. It's nice to meet you. Hi Pearl. I'm glad you subscribed. That's really great. I hope we can help you with your travels and stuff like that. So that's really cool. Eric, I'm glad I could help you convince you and your girlfriend to go to Madrid. It's a really cool city if you're going to be going to Madrid. And one thing I say is, you're going to Madrid, don't forget some really good day trips from there, like Toledo and Segovia. Easy day trips you can go to like that. If you want to take a little bit more time, you're down to Cordoba or Sevilla on the fast train, so a little bit more expensive, but still worth going to. So Ashley Young writes, Mark, what do you think is the best way to travel around Costa Rica? Plan to go with friends, and we're debating between renting a car or taking taxis everywhere. Which is best? Ashley, actually, if you go to Costa Rica, the hotels can book drivers for you that will take you to different places you want to go. That's what we did, and it was so easy. It was affordable, and the roads actually aren't that bad there. I mean, you can rent a car and have a nice time. Don't break the computer, Liam. So you can get around no problem with that. Let's see. Hold on, we got a few super chats to say thank you for. Be careful.
Was on accident.
I know, don't shoot your things there. So Jose Pereira, hey, not only did Benfica beat Porto 2-1 on Saturday, then you hit 500,000 subscribers. What a week so far. You just need, Sporting to win this weekend. It'll be the perfect week. So you have a good time there. So, but thank you for the super chat, Jose. That's really awesome. It really helps us support us and do some of the cool stuff we do to help other travelers. It's really awesome. Deans Go Exploring, thank you very much for the congratulations. I'm glad you like our videos and all the travel info and tips. And we try to get a lot out there. We're working on all kinds of new stuff. I've got a whole bunch of new ideas. We got trips to Jamaica and Turks and Caicos because we had a lot of people that requested more Caribbean stuff. So we're going to be working on that. So we have some of those coming up. So if you have questions about Jamaica and Turks and Caicos vacation, let us know, and we'll try to get some things for that one. But we got a little cool trips coming up, so we can get a lot of new things. We're trying to do a lot of new different kind of things. Liam's playing with his Legos here, having a fun time. But we've got the next few months. There's Rwanda, Tanzania, Jamaica, Turks and Caicos. We'll be in Slovenia. We'll be in Italy. We'll be in Czech Republic, Austria, Hungary, maybe Switzerland. Getting some more USA stuff. Finally get to LA. People have asked us to go there, so we'll be in LA. Back to Scotland. It's gonna be a busy few months here. So look for a lot of new videos coming out, a lot of different locations. I know we got some Europe back there where we usually go, but we've got some other good stuff coming. A lot of stuff we filmed in Belize still to come out. So we got some stuff from Guatemala. All kinds of really cool stuff. So hopefully we're going to get out there. Anyway, so Thomas Higgins, is Dubrovnik, Croatia, is Dubrovnik worth it with all the tourism, or do you recommend other cities in Croatia? Dubrovnik's really cool. I'm not going to lie to you. It's well worth visiting. It's one of my top relatively affordable places to go because it's easy to get there. But the thing is, there's so many cruise ships that go in there that gets packed during the day. But then in the evening, everybody goes back to their cruise ships or the cruise ships leave, and you have the city to yourself, which is really cool. But if you're going to go, going to Split or going up to Rovinj and Istria, you can have a good time anywhere in Croatia. So do not worry about that. What's tapas and pinchos like with toddlers? Is that possible or too crowded? So Ryan Fay's writing, he's asking about when you're in Spain tapas are little treats you have, and pinchos is little like bread with some stuff on top. You can add for snack things that you usually get when you have a drink or something like that. With toddlers, if you go early enough, like people drinking, their kids are there too in Spain. It's no big deal. When it gets later, it might get a little bit much, but if you're there earlier, you get a seat and stuff like that. You'll be fine. We've done it with him when he was a toddler and when his brother was a toddler, so you'll have a good time that way. No. Liam, it's okay. Thank you, Elizabeth Matthews. Exactly. Buy his shirt. Yes, please buy his shirt. They do help support us and helps get the word out there. And one of the things, if you do get a shirt, one of the things you'll see every few months, we'll put out a video of the pictures that our fans send us, our fellow travelers send us, of wearing the shirts in other parts of the world. So it's kind of a cool thing to see. I'm like, hey, you want to be in the shirt? Yeah! It's like, cool. It's just really exciting to see. So there is that. Okay, so let's get to some questions here. Hey, in Peru. Hey, in the Philippines. Israel. Oh, yeah, that's right. We're going to be in Israel later this year, too. I forgot about that. We got that coming up. Zorn27, do you recommend a Caribbean country above all? I got to go explore more to really give one above all. It depends what you're really looking for. So there's a lot of different stuff that's there.
So far, Key Coker for me.
Yeah, Liam liked Key Coker. He really liked Belize. He wants to go there for his birthday next month. But It's Easter, so we're gonna go to Grandma and Grandpa's house. So, oh yeah, Grandma and Grandpa will feel good about that one, right?
No, I will.
Okay.
I could go with them.
You could. That's true. You could go with Grandma and Grandpa. There you go. So anyway, it's obviously Jocelyn's upstairs helping Caleb, so I've got my assistant here who's very much assisting. So what should I expect studying in Shanghai this summer? Dylan O'Leary writes, well, expect a lot of heat, man. I mean, it is hot there and it's humid and stuff like that. So be prepared for that, but be prepared for some cool architecture, some amazing food, tons of stuff to do around there. And there's a lot of villages you can go to around there. So you don't have to have just like the new, like modern China. You can see kind of old fashioned China, which is really, really cool. So definitely check that out. Don't just stay in Shanghai. Do some of those weekend breaks and stuff like that. And you can take the long train or you can fly to go to places like Beijing. And it's far to go to, but it's worth doing for a long weekend. And if you go to China, you can stay in really nice hotels for really cheap prices. But they will put a huge hold on your credit card. So I will tell you that one. So Antonio Garaby writes, when are you going to Mexico? Well, we're actually looking to go back to Mexico City either end of this year or beginning next year. Yeah, Liam's a big, huge fan. I'm a big, huge fan. My dad's a big, huge fan. We all love Mexico. My dad worked there for a long time, so I got a special place in my heart for it. Put your feet down, dude. Let's see. So Bonancos writes, I was hoping to travel to Sweden one day until I recently saw the trailer for Midsummer. Now I'm afraid to. Sweden's got a plenty great place to go to. Don't worry, you'll be fine. Let's see what else we have. Congratulations. Thank you very much, Sean Rada. Thanks so much for all you do. Your videos inspired me and my wife to plan our first big trip to Europe. We're following our 23andMe ancestry for a month this July. That's really cool. And that's the thing. If you're doing these ancestry genealogy kind of things, it's kind of cool to go back and see like, wow, that's where the family's from. Like my mom, she did a lot of genealogy work with her aunts and stuff like that. So she has all these old records. And that's what she found. There was a pastor in our family who worked at this one church in the Shetland Islands, and so we're going to go see where he lived and the church he preached in. And we're going to see those things. It's really kind of a cool thing to see the history kind of stuff. Alexander Porg writes, "Is NOLA a good city for a 10-year-old?" Yes, it is. Look, the French Quarter after 4:30 in the afternoon is not a place to take kids. But before that, it's great. Yeah, Bourbon Street, there's people going by and drinking and stuff like that. But such great architecture. The Pharmacy Museum, read the stuff about it. It's really cool when you're down there. And the whole city, the zoo there, the Aquarium of the Americas. There's a lot of really cool stuff. You can take them on some like cemetery tours and stuff like that, or ghost tours. There's a lot of really cool things in NOLA for kids. We've taken our kids there, and they had a great time. So I have no problem taking my kids to New Orleans. Now, I wouldn't take them to Bourbon Street after 5 o'clock because you'll see in the French Quarter from 4 to 5, everything changes, okay? So Gary Reed writes, hey, Mark, you ever going to get to Southeast Asia? Yes, we are. Remember, we were supposed to go this summer, and then we had a wedding to go to, which totally threw our entire summer plans out the window. And we went great. We went down to Argentina, Uruguay, and Brazil, but our whole Southeast Asia thing got switched up because we couldn't afford to do both. Because as much as we like to go everywhere we want, I mean, it's not free to do these things. We don't do sponsorships, or like people don't want to do sponsorships with us because we're willing to focus on honest travel. And it's kind of hard if you don't believe in the product and say, hey, why don't you sell our product on there? I'm like, I don't believe in your product. I'm not going to do that. So that's why if you ever do see us do a sponsorship, it'll be people we use and we believe. And so most companies don't want you to be honest. They want you to be a commercial. And that's not what we want to do. So we pay for all this stuff on our own. So that's why when you get things like the shirts and you subscribe on Patreon and you donate in the super chats, it really does make a huge difference for us, just so you know.
And if we take sponsorship, it'll be only from people we really believe in. Did you cover that?
I did cover that. So
That's
that's one of the big things there. So Jose Pereira writes, our good buddy, Carnival was celebrated this past weekend. What sort of advice would you offer to travelers who would like to visit the various festivals all around the world? So for those of you who don't know, in the U.S. we have Mardi Gras. Other places like in Brazil they have Carnival, and in Italy they have Carnival, and Fasching is what they have in Germany. You have all these festivals. 40 days before Easter, it finishes, and you have Ash Wednesday, which is today, and you have crazy festivals. Like I've been to the one in Germany before, and people dress up in costumes, and there's parades and candies and drinking and stuff like that. You'll see a theme: parades, drinking, candy getting thrown around, costumes, things like that. I've been to Carnival in Argentina, which is really cool. A lot of dance, a lot of loud music and stuff like that. And what's cool is like if you go to see the really big floats, they'll actually be like in Brazil and Argentina, they'll be in stadiums. And so you sit in a stadium, you watch the floats go by, and they'll be on TV all night long. And it's a really kind of a cool thing. If you're going to Venice is famous for like the fancy masks and stuff like that. That's more of a Hottie Toddy one, and they have balls you can go to. I mean, there's balls everywhere, but there's balls you can go to.
Or hoity-toity.
Hoity-toity, whatever. Sorry,
Ole Miss.
I was thinking Ole Miss thing. Sorry. So there is that. But yeah, Jose, there's a ton of stuff that people can do around there.
Hey, I want to.
Yeah. Oh no. OG says, "How is Delta not sponsor as Beyond Meat?" That's a good question. I
don't know. Maybe you should tell them to sponsor us.
Yeah, exactly. Like, wow, you give enough free stuff. Why should we give anything to you? So.
I want to just point something out. So I was upstairs in Caleb's room, and he has to do a project about caves, and it's for science class and whatever. No. Anyway, so I was like, "What's the coolest cave you've ever been in?" And he started talking, and we were talking about when we went to the Blue Grotto. Got your venom there. Anyway, we were talking about when we went to the Blue Grotto, and that was the coolest cave he's ever seen. And one of his friends was doing some kind of presentation on Italy, and she was bouncing it off of him. They partnered up, and anyway, he was like, I was just telling her about this and how cool it was. And so, y'all, that's why you travel with your children, because not only are you enriching their lives, but their understanding of different subjects at school is enriched. And by that, so are their friends. Like, the fact that he was telling Rachel all about the Blue Grotto and what it was like to lie down in the little boat to go in because of the, the way tide was and all that. That's really something special. So I just need to put that out there because it happens often, right?
Yeah, it's kind of cool. So Scott Avila, 58, thank you very much for the super chat. I really appreciate it. We all really appreciate it. It's awesome of you, man. Thank you so much. Caroline, what about Istanbul in Turkey? Antalya has some beautiful beaches and ruins. I know I've actually been by there. It is kind of cool. We're looking for summer 2020 to hit Southeast Europe, Turkey, and then get into the stands like the Kazakhstan, Georgia, Uzbekistan. Like that's our penciled in goal for 2020 summer. So we will be getting there because I know you want to go the Hagia Sophia and see all kinds of great stuff.
Yeah. Nepal family asked where we were going in the Caribbean. So we just did Belize along with Guatemala, and we will be in Turks and Caicos and Jamaica this year, and possibly Cuba. We're really crossing our fingers on the Cuba thing. So that's something else that.
Hey, Keegan boy. And this is a question that a lot of people get upset that we don't answer your questions when it's going by on the feed there. They go by so fast for us that we can't actually keep up with all of them, so we miss some of them. We don't skip anybody's stuff. We're trying to get as many as we can. So I was just in Seattle this last year, and we filmed the 511 Hates of Seattle and the What to Eat in Seattle kind of stuff. Had a great time. Honestly, if you could choose between going to Vancouver and Seattle, I actually recommend Seattle over Vancouver because there's a lot. I mean, they both have a lot of great stuff. They're both cool cities. I just like Seattle a bit better. So if you're looking for that.
Amber G asks Paris and London in October with 11, 9, and 1-year-old, what's the best way to travel, particularly with a baby? Bring the stroller or holster or buy a cheap umbrella stroller once you're there. So for ease, when our kids were 1, we were still kind of doing the baby Bjorn thing where you pack them on you, and that makes it really easy. And we could switch them between us. But you know what? They also like to get down and run around, especially at 1 when they're walking. So one thing I need to tell you is take lots of breaks, stop in whatever parks you can and let them run, and make that time equal to what time you spend in like boring old museums, because 1-year-olds do not care about museums. But the other thing I really love the idea of just buying a cheap umbrella stroller once you're there, and you can donate it, you can leave it at a church or many other places.
We've done that a number of times.
We've actually, quite a few times, and it's really helpful for us. It makes it easy on us. It makes it, you get to donate something and make a less fortunate person's life maybe a little bit easier too. So there you go.
So next up, Benjamin Bramer, thank you very much for the super chat. We really appreciate it. So his question is, because again, these things have gone by, I have to scroll back up and find them. Sorry, Benjamin, that took so long. Day trip or divide from Contatini. I have not been there, so I can't say. I'm sorry. But also, any tips for a hyperactive 2-year-old on that long of a flight? So Josh will have plenty. So you want to do it, and I'll come back.
Well. So first of all, at 2's kind of almost the worst part. It's like from walking until about 2. After 2, things get a little bit easier. So maybe a lot of movies and things. We like to download things. Thanks, Steve. we like to download new movies and a couple of old movies onto our phones, or if you have Kindle or an iPad or something like that, that you can do that on. But get up and walk with them. Do not let your child run around on the flight by
It's
themselves.
not safe.
But you know what? When the seatbelt signs off and it's okay, you go and you walk with them, and that kind of helps. The other thing, talk to your doctor about melatonin. Get your kids ready for sleep. Let them travel. If it's a late flight or something, let them travel in jammies. Make it keep to their bedtime routine as much as possible. Just make that chair that they're in, make that their bed as much as you possibly can. You're just gonna have to suck it up because it's not always easy. But those are a few things that kind of helped us. So there you go. Uzbekistan.
Uzbekistan, yeah, we can try. Uzbekistan, there we go, buddy. Hey, I got a few ones I want to talk about. Olga asked about, have you ever been to Galena, Illinois? I have not been to Galena, Illinois, but it's a cute place up in north.
People who have.
Yeah,
they've
you know,
been
people that are
golfing
there.
a lot.
Yeah, my parents have been there a lot, but I've never been. So
Hi,
we
Tosh.
haven't been there. Tosh, what's up, buddy?
What happened to your dad travel tips series? They just haven't been uploaded, have they?
Yeah, no, I got a few of them, but that's...
We've got some
that's
videos
so much
made,
stuff.
but they're not.
I have no idea. It got lost.
It is time for you to go to bed.
Go
Upstairs and read a book,
Go
and I'll
brush
be
your
up
teeth.
soon.
Go brush your teeth. You'll be fine. I know,
Parenting
it's
happens
horrible.
all the time.
So Olga, so there's that one. And then Olga also writes, maybe it was different Olga, sorry. How long should I spend at Schönbrunn Palace? So if you're going to Vienna, we've been there a lot of times. Schönbrunn Palace is it's the summer palace of the Holy Roman Emperors, and it's really a beautiful palace, one of the best in Europe to go to. I'll be honest, and you have all these rooms you can go through. Don't do the long one. The long one is too long, and the short one's too short. Do the middle tour. That's the best one to do. And what's nice is the gardens outside are really cool. There's a little maze out there, a little tiny zoo if you got a kid. So it's kind of a nice things there. Someone asked, Thomas asked, Morocco prices versus Spain and Portugal. Morocco was about Spain and Portugal prices. It wasn't like super cheap, but it wasn't expensive. So it was nice there. So I wouldn't worry too much. We didn't blow too much cash. I mean, and when I went from Morocco to Portugal with Air Portugal TAP, I mean, the prices, there was no difference in the prices. So that was nice. Another one, Pink Pearl was saying that she was having a tough time getting the super chat going. Hey, you're watching the videos. We appreciate that. So it's okay. We appreciate it. Our buddies, hey, Ashley and Josh from way away. Thank you very much for the congrats. I'm sure I'm overdoing one of your live feeds too, because we seem to do that all the time. But I'll catch you at the end of your live feed like I always do in your premieres. So it's kind of a funny thing.
Ryan Fay, Savannah is extremely walkable downtown if you want to go out to Tybee Island or Thunderbolt or Whitmarsh Island or any of those things, or the South Side or Isle of Hope. You need to probably have a car. But if you would like to just get out and walk around downtown, which is where most people want to be, that's very walkable. Pay attention, though, because a lot of tourists don't understand how traffic goes around the squares. They're kind of like a traffic circle, and people have a difficult time. So be aware of that and bikes on them just for safety's sake. But it's not big. It's not a bad thing. Just pay attention.
So, Luke, thank you, my friend in Ireland. I appreciate the love. Thank you very much. And Ashton, that's in Belize, we're glad we could get down. That was a really fantastic thing. Fin wrote...
Giro's on.
Giro's on?
Hola!
Oh, hey! The El Frontera de Jorea.
Fin de mundo.
So Amadir is my host dad when I lived in Brazil, and they're fantastic people. They're one of the reasons why I love Brazil so much, because they're just amazing people. So... Hi, oi, pai. So it's so great to see them on here. That's one of the things is sometimes those people that pop up, they're actually our friends that'll say hi, or people we haven't seen for a long time. It's really kind of a cool thing to see. So that's really nice. So I got a few more questions. Somebody's asked about India. India is probably 2020, 2021, end of 2020, beginning of 2021. That's where we're looking for the route. Like we pencil in a lot of stuff to figure out what things we could do. So India is definitely on our list. Someone asked about action cams. I think Cam asked about that, or they asked about with how good action cams have gotten. Would you guys want to go do some of that stuff? Here's the thing: is the reason why we do a lot of the tripod stuff is because I want to go and enjoy these things, so that I can tell you about it. Because if I'm trying to film it or drone it or something like that, I'm focused on the camera, I'm focused on the drone, and I'm not focused on learning and experiencing stuff, so I can tell you about it. I'm sure one day maybe we'll have something we can just put a little camera right here and see us walk around, but right now, I want to experience the stuff when we're there with our family, and then
because that's how we give you better information.
Yeah.
Auntie Princess Sarah Bell, I love you.
Oh, thank you, Sarah.
That's
Sarah was in our
awesome.
wedding, so thank
Much
you very much, Sarah. We
appreciated, dear.
appreciate it. Henry was not in our wedding, but we feel like he was part of a family. Thank you for the congratulations. By reaching 500,000 subs, do you think sponsorships or brands will reach out to you guys now? Have you and Jocelyn try to reach out to brands on your own? We have like small companies that will reach out to us, and they're like, "Oh, we'll give you something, but you make a big video about it. You do all these things and say we're great." I'm like, I'm sorry, if we believe you're a product, we'll do something, or we might do a product review because we tried out the product. It would be nice
for us. It's all about honesty, and you guys know that it doesn't matter what they give or how it happens. It has to be something we actually meet our criteria of honesty and honesty because I'm not going to tell you something's great if it's not.
No, because we get a lot of people like, "Hey, come to this place." And I'm like, but I have to tell the good and the bad. And there's one company that actually used their product, and they wrote me like, "Hey, could you do something for us?" I'm like, "I'd love to." And like, we'll send this product to you. I'm like, "I already have it. I can make it right now for you." And like, "Oh, great! Make the video and make the blog, and then send it to us, and we'll tell you what have to change." I'm like, "That's not a review. That's not who we are. That's a commercial." So
and we're not commercial.
Yeah. So
obviously,
it'd be nice if we do. So Franco Contreras, Jocelyn, please do more girl-related videos. My girlfriend asks where to buy nice clothes and budget in London. Is it possible?
There's I don't do a ton of shopping in London.
London is going to be one of your more expensive places to go shop, Franco. I'm not going to lie to you about that. But I will say, like, you'll find like the boutique stores in Paris and in Rome and stuff like that.
There are some in London. Actually, my favorite one in Paris, Soho's good in London. My favorite boutique in Paris has a boutique in London also. It's called Heroines, and it's a little bit on the pricey side, but it's really great quality. It's not bespoke, but they make a very limited run of everything. So you can do that. You can do it on a budget if you're just getting like one really spectacular thing. Heroines is definitely a place that I would say to check out.
So Anthony wrote, he's saying, "Hey, was there a downside of getting an Airbnb in Paris or Rome? In some of those bigger cities where you could be spending a lot of money on hotels and there's smaller hotel rooms, sometimes we'll actually, like we haven't stayed in a hotel in Paris in probably 10 years. Because we rent apartments when we go because you get so much bang for your.
And we were renting the same one for like 5 years and then they sold it.
Yeah, so we're moving to a new, like this summer for our first trip to Paris. We're trying a new one. If it works out, we're going to Paris a second time this year. So we'll try some stuff.
Will is a new viewer, and he was asking about if he should do Euro or EasyJet Ryanair for a month or so in Europe with 5 or 6 countries. Typically, I would do. It depends on what countries you're going to, but maybe a combination of like if you're doing like what Austria and
Austria, Germany, Switzerland, like
then you would do the train. But if you're gonna do like Paris and go to Greece, then you definitely want to look at like what is it, Wizz Air or Ryanair or EasyJet or Aegean. Aegean's great.
Going there.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Eurail passes are not the benefit they used to be because of all the cheap airlines.
They're cheap.
Yeah, the flights, not the Eurail passes. Yeah. So there's that. So I would just buy tickets when you need it and do the cheaper airlines. Kanubis, hey, good to see you on here. Kanubis, he does like a history channel on here you can check out, and we met him while we were at VidCon. It was really cool. Got to talk to him before we talked. You were there, but
I wasn't there.
You were there. You were there in spirit. I ran a networking event for travel vloggers. It went really well. I met some really great people when I was there, and Kanubis was actually one of them. He was a real nice guy that we got to talk to. So check him out.
Tammy Montgomery asks, "What should we skip in Rome?" It's hard. It's actually so. The catacombs maybe because they're really far out.
Yeah, like I want to walk the Appian Way. It's kind of far to do, so be careful with that one. You don't really, I know you don't necessarily have to walk up the Spanish Steps because that's a lot of steps.
Yeah, no, take a look.
But take a look.
Take a picture from the bottom, either top or bottom wherever you are.
Probably the bottom's your better way to go. So the girl-related videos, Jocelyn, we're trying to get more.
I mentioned that.
We're going to have more of that.
I'll work on it.
And the dad videos, I've got a couple filmed, but I didn't get a lot of questions on that video about that to get some more ideas for stuff because a lot of people are like, we'll just make more family videos. I'm like, we will, but sometimes my dad wants to have his own dad perspective. So ARS is Argent. No, Liam,
ARS is Argentine on this. Yeah. So either Jose Aguirre or Jose Aguirre. 10-hour layover in Paris, 4 days in Rome, Pisa, and Florence on the same day, then Venice for a day, then to Naples and back to Rome. Wow. All of Italy will be renting a car. Any recommendations? My first recommendation is skip Pisa and spend the rest of that day in Florence because Pisa's not awesome. It is the most underwhelming place I've ever been to. That's a terrible thing to say, but it is. It's honest, and that's what we do. Florence is worth more than a day, but if you can just pack a whole bunch into one day, get to the Accademia very early and see that. Anywhere you can, buy tickets early and online. So like when you're in Rome, you could even squeeze one day out of Rome because Rome is such a condensed city. All the major stuff is in such a small space that you could do that in maybe 3 days, give yourself an extra day somewhere else.
So Michael Mon, hi Mark and Jocelyn, jumping in a bit late today. Love the live chats. Congrats on 500,000 subs, and thanks for staying true to your ideals. Thanks. You. We try. Sometimes it's tough. Sometimes you look at the bank account, you're like, I don't know how we're gonna do this. But
and your super chats help with that.
Yeah, and your super chats do help. Like, you know what, we're doing okay. We're doing okay. So, and if you don't want and if you don't want to do a super chat, you don't want to buy a T-shirt, it's totally fine.
We're happy to help.
We want to help as many travelers as we can. If they wear one of those cool quarter zips or, we don't care. If we can help you travel and you enjoy the videos and you watch and give us a like or you just watch, that's all the thanks we need. Okay? But we do appreciate the super chats and people that grab stuff, so it makes it really helpfulness.
Ray Hummel asks, or Hamill, I'm sorry, do you think Normandy will be busy in July? Yes. Yeah. And especially, this year, it's just, we're all right around how many years? 75 years. So it's going to be busier than normal. During the middle of the week is always anywhere, generally. The middle of the week is better than the weekends, if that helps at all. So like maybe Monday, Tuesday, rather than Friday, Saturday. Hope that helps. And it's worth it, by the way. It's one of the most moving places I've ever been. It's amazing.
So, Pink Pearl Disney Wishes. Is it hard for a trip to the city if you're from farms? So basically, if you're going to the urban area and you're used to the farm areas, is that kind of a big thing? I think if you're going to Europe, I don't think it's much big of a deal. Going to the U.S., it's just the bigger spaces and stuff like that. And I don't think it's too big of a deal.
But going to like mega cities like Sao Paulo or Tokyo.
Well,
Tokyo isn't that overwhelming. It's a lot of people, but it's not.
It's like 30 million people. But
I know, but it didn't feel as overwhelming to me as like Beijing.
Yeah,
Beijing is
crazy.
Like, that was overwhelming. And I lived there for half a summer, 7 weeks, something like that. And there were days it was hard for me because it was so big. But I didn't get that feeling when we were in Tokyo, mainly because Tokyo is the most uber organized place I've ever been. It's like insanely, everything's da-da-da-da-da. So that makes it easier and a little more human.
So Matthew writes, have you ever seen someone out and about in one of your T-shirts? Well, like one of our friends, but we've been traveling around, we haven't bumped into people.
But so our favorite barista at our Barnes & Noble cafe, we ran into him today.
Cameron, yeah.
And Cam was talking about one of the other baristas who had moved out to, where did she move, to Oregon maybe?
Yeah.
And she became a massage therapist, and somebody came in wearing a Wolters World t-shirt, and so she told Cameron, who told us, and so we get those things. Other people see them and tell us about it. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, and what's cool is people send us pictures of them wearing their shirts around places. It's really nice to see. So one person, Aaron James, wrote, hey, what's your favorite city in California? San Diego. I love San Diego. It's great for a guy's trip. It's great for a solo trip. It's great for a romantic trip. It's great for a girl's trip. It's got a little bit of everything. I love San Diego. That'll be my one for that.
Hey, Salvatore from Vicenza. Hi.
Hey!
It's my hometown in Italy, if I can call it, right? Yeah.
So, Dreaminger. Hey, Mark, what are some good places to visit Minnesota? Obviously, the Twin Cities, Minneapolis, St. Paul, but Duluth would be a great place to go to if you're looking for that.
I spent my summers up there and love that area. It's great.
So another person writes, hey, are you going to Southern Italy? Not on this trip. We're going to be in Northern Italy on our next Italy trip. But we do need to get back down there because I was in Sicily in the south before I did Wolters World. We need to get down there to do some stuff down there. Hit Lecce and Bari and do those kind of things. Eddie, I can chug a pint of beer really fast.
That's funny. James asks us if we've been to Africa. We have been to North Africa, and this summer we are going to Sub-Saharan Africa for the first time for a few weeks. We're going to do Tanzania and Rwanda. So there you go.
So Malcolm Hogan, what about a favorite European city? Well, my four favorites: Paris, Prague, Rome. Those are my three favorites. In London, London will be there. Like if you're looking for the big cities, smaller towns. I'm a big fan of Bamberg, Germany. The Harz Mountains in Germany. I love Lisbon. I know it's kind of a bigger city, but that's nice. Porto's cool.
I love Porto.
There's
if
a
I had
lot
to
of
pick
great
it out,
places.
yeah.
That's the thing. It's just so many great places. It's really hard to do that. Olga Sheffield, should I
I
order a
was gonna
special
answer
meal?
that too.
This is an important one. I'll let Jocelyn talk
I
about this.
am a
Under,
huge
like a time
fan.
limit.
I love ordering special meals ahead of time.
Say the question.
Oh, I'm sorry. Olga asked if she should order a special meal ahead of time on the plane. I do it for the kids. I get kids meals. For myself, I often get the vegetarian simply because I think the meat is mystery meat. So if you have any kind of food restrictions or whatever, go ahead, order it ahead of time. And you can do that up to most airlines. You have to do it at least 48 hours in advance. But go ahead and do it. It's not an extra charge. So there you go.
Yeah. So Fin, I had a note down to write. You've asked about Iran like 4 or 5 times. I didn't get a chance to get it. I have it written down right here. Yes, I would go to Iran to check it out and see what it's like. I've seen some very interesting travel things from there. I have a buddy of mine that traveled through there about 20 years ago, and he's told me some really great stories about it. So I wouldn't mind going there. It'd be kind of cool to do. Sampro Sanchez looking. Yeah, don't block it from me. Looking at flights going to Rome from New York City, but connecting to Lisbon, do I have to go through customs there before getting on my connecting flight? Yes, you will, because you'll be coming from outside of Schengen. You'll be going in, you'll stamp your passport in Lisbon, and then you'll go to the other part of the airport, and then you'll fly to Rome from there. So you will go through customs there. But when you fly into Europe, you don't have to get your bags. You'll get your bags in Rome, not in Lisbon. They just do the stamp of the passport thing there. So Ryan Fay writes, thank you for the super chat, Ryan. Thanks for what you do while everyone else is doing backflips from their 4K drone. You guys are actually useful. That's one of the reasons why I have not got a drone. People have told us, oh, you should get some drones and drone footage. I'm like, well, a lot of people that use drone
Your dad
footage.
said
Yeah,
that.
my dad said, I'm like, well, a lot of people that use drone footage, they just buy the drone footage and use that. Or like, think about it. If you're trying to do a drone all the time, I find them really annoying. And I want to go enjoy. I don't want to like try to fly it around and stuff like that. I'd rather focus on travel.
Mark's not really the backflip kind of guy.
No, I'm not a backflip kind of guy. But I know what he means. I know that there's a lot of channels. I mean, it looks cool, but after like the 5th time you do a backflip off a cliff into the water, I'm like, are you going to help me?
That's cool.
It's cool. Don't get me wrong. That's cool.
That's cool.
But is it going to help me travel? That's my thing. JK1776, thank you very much for the super chat. That is super awesome of you. We really appreciate it. Champ, also super thank you for the super chat. Hey guys, congrats on the milestones. Thank you very much. My girlfriend and I love your travel tips. Awesome. One of us is heading to Moscow for a work trip, and we'll have 1 to 2 days to explore. Any recommendations? If you can get to the 1 to 2 days. Theoretically, you could actually get up to St. Petersburg. It'd be like tight, but you could do it. But there's some like the Peterhof and stuff like that. Well, that's kind of like in between. You can do some of those things. I think if you're going to be going for work, here's one of the things a lot of people don't realize: when you travel for work, you don't always get a ton of time to explore stuff. So I would definitely maybe use that time to really explore Moscow, because the city is huge. Okay, and so you can't get it all done. So having that 2 days, 1 or 2 days to actually enjoy it is going to be a lot different than when you're working. So that would be my recommendation for that. So, I've not been to The Hague, Zeech. I have not been there, so I can't say. Alaska is something for our future. Where we will look at something like that for like an August trip to get up there to see some of the great things there. Graz, Austria, well worth a day to go there to see the architecture, see the downtown. It's a really pretty town. Some good food there too.
Sergio, I have been to Puerto Rico and I absolutely enjoyed every bit. I spent most of my time in Rincon. And it was a little more out of the way, surfers and things, not a whole lot of tourists, but we had a wonderful time. The food was absolutely excellent.
So Daniel Metal writes, he's talking about Croatia, Plivica or Krka. I like the Krka waterfalls. It's a nice walk around to see it all, and you can enjoy the little town right by there. So that's my personal opinion there. Dudley Do Right, thank you very much for thinking our videos are fantastic, just the way they are. I'm trying to make them better. I'm trying to figure out new things to do. I'll probably try to do some different graphics and stuff like that to make it a little more modern and work on the cuts and try to do a better job with the sound. It's the little things we're trying to make them better. So we have some stuff
polishing.
There.
Alexandria, if you are moving from one place to another with luggage, gosh knows we've done it enough. Try to pack really tiny and you know, I guess get lifts for your bed so you can store those luggage pieces underneath the bed.
Well, what you'll see also if you're going to move to Europe, you won't have the closet like you do in the US.
She's moving from the UK to Tennessee.
Oh, to Tennessee. Oh, you have so much space. Pfft, don't worry about it.
It'll be a lot.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
she's going to university though.
Oh.
So I'm thinking like dorm room, not tons and tons of space.
Yeah, and also if you want to, yeah.
But think
they'll
about
have a closet for you.
You'll be fine with like a full size suitcase worth of stuff. You'll be able to make it better than an American going the opposite way with the same amount of stuff. Does that help?
Yeah.
I hope.
So Spencer Davis just subscribed. Thank you very much for subscribing. We really appreciate you. Hopefully our videos can help out. I also think a Hawaii video would be awesome. We actually were talking with our friends that were here or when we did our thing. We were talking about them maybe going to Hawaii with them to do something fun together. So that's kind of cool. Fido Rose from Argentina. Gracias, mi amigo. Estoy feliz que estás aquí.
Alexander, absolutely. You're going to enjoy it so much. Go to a Georgia football game. Go Dogs.
So, for a first-time traveler, is Russia and West Ukraine safe? I'm Canadian, have contacts in both. Looking at Novograd and Lviv, Volgograd to see everyone. That is a
Where's your box?
call it like check the State Department from the U.S. and what they recommend, or from Canada. Like what the secretary says. I mean, I would the foreign minister says. I would check that out. I mean, I know Lviv is really cool. But you got to be, I mean, you need to check it out before you go. I mean, see what they say, because it's kind of calmed down now, but you never know. So that's one thing I always look at. Malcolm, yes, we are looking at going to New Zealand. We will get there. Don't worry about that. Olga, best art gallery in Vienna. Go to the Schloss Belvedere, where you can see the best collection of Klimts in the world. They have the kiss. They have the kiss. Time for kisses in the air. Oh, no. Oh, Jeremy Seitz. Oh, wait, where'd you go? Jeremy Seitz, thank you very much for the super chat. You. Congrats on 500,000. We found your videos have been some of the most informative when we're researching places to visit. We're glad because that's what we want to do. We want to help you research to visit. We don't necessarily show us enjoying everything. We just want to get you the information so you can enjoy it, so you can make your own decision on where to go, what to see, what to do. And so we're really glad when fellow travelers like you let us know these things. It's really a cool thing. Terrence, also, thank you very much for the super chat.
Congratulations on the nuptials.
Oh, going to Cancun on my honeymoon and doing an all-inclusive resort. Any recommendations or tricks while staying there? Okay, so the all-inclusive resorts will not probably have too much native food. I'm not going to lie to you, because the all-inclusive resorts are just, it's a buffet kind of thing. What I would recommend is ask the workers, like, hey, what's the traditional food they have here? And it might just be like carnita tacos or something like that. But ask the workers, like, what's real here? Because I know I stayed at the Moon Palace for a conference, like, I don't know, 5 or 6 years ago. And I talked to the guys, like, honestly, we only have one thing that's actually authentic to Cancun. And he's like, there's the carnita stuff over there. So don't be afraid to go into town.
Yeah, you can
go
to
the market there. Yourself. I would definitely sign up for the tour to go to Chichen Itza, the Mayan site, also the cenotes, the sinkholes you can do there. That's really kind of a cool thing to do. And most of the tours will tie that together, of course, with the stop at a market kind of thing to sell you like cheap crap. But they're still cool to do, and it gives you enough time, and you're back in time to enjoy like the drinks at the thing later on. So I would definitely check that. Hi in Oklahoma, good to see you all. Hey from Tijuana. Hey from Cancun, good to see you all here. Tammy, I'm glad our advice can really help out. That's really nice. Kevin, Holland, we're going to Jamaica next. That's what we're going for. Sarah Grace in Canada, thank you so much. The stuff on the top shelf up there, those are tea sets. Those are tea sets up there for those going through. I'm just trying to get through some. Hey from Boise. Oh no, it just, also on our end, it like jumps up like 10 at a time, so I've lost where we were.
Alexandria is also, not only is she taking clothes and whatnot, but she's got bulky instruments because she's studying country music. I think that's really stinking awesome. Cool. I have no idea how you're going to do that. Maybe you should ship your clothes ahead of time.
Okay, so she's coming from the UK, right?
UK.
Okay, so I've been in a few UK dorm rooms back in the day when I was a student, and the dorm rooms in the US, even if you're in a dorm room.
Why were you in dorm rooms?
I had friends that lived there. Mm-hmm. Anyway, moving on. But their dorm rooms I found were smaller in the UK than the US. So if that gives you a rough idea of the size of a UK dorm room, be like, okay, that's the kind of space I'm going to have. But realize in the US, a lot of people come from abroad to study this. They have suitcases, they have all this kind of stuff. So they'll get it figured out. Don't worry about it. Zoran27, thank you very much. I'm glad we could make your Malta trip a bit better. Don't tell Jocelyn because she hasn't been yet, so she'll want
And
to kill me.
it's one of my big places I want to go to. Eli Katz, we are going to Israel this fall, and yes, we need more Asia videos. Unfortunately, so much of Asia that we want to go and see is going to be really expensive, and trying to get there for that price, we need a lot of time. And when we have a lot of time, the weather's really bad, so it's just a matter of working out the cost. If we get some cheap flights, we are all in. So there you go.
So, Chris Danielson, how much would a round the world trip cost? Honestly, it depends where you go, how many stops you have. That's almost an impossible thing. But I will tell you, look up RTW, like hashtag RTW, or look it up, Round the World Travel Advice. There are tons of people that do it, and they can give you some solid advice specifically for that. But I'll tell you, I have a video on 3 things you have to consider before you go on long-term travel. Because you have to have the right mentality, because it's not a vacation. I mean, you're doing this, it's not a vacation anymore. It's a travel kind of thing, and we got the financially ready for it, and like here, are you ready for that? Because you will get lonely and stuff like that. But it's a mental game too. But it's a freaking awesome time. So there is that. Let's see. When traveling, should I go for cheap hotels, luxury hotels, or nice balance somewhere in the middle? We usually go for the middle price and like middle lower price, not low, but like middle now. So we go for those because it's just a bed you're gonna sleep in. Like I don't want a bed with bed bugs, but I don't need a gold plated toilet. So we usually go for middle class kind of stuff. Yes, Johnson has paid fetch with the dog because he was growling at us. Zorn, thank you. I'd love to have that $20,000 to go around the world. Yeah. Darren and Ashley, any advice for cooking classes in Italy? Oh, I have there's a place I wanted to go to this summer. If you're in anywhere you go in Italy, not anywhere, any of the big tourist places, they'll have those cooking things. And we like to do the cooking stuff whenever we go anywhere. Like we have a good time with the kids doing it. There's a lot of fun stuff you can do.
Favorite
and it's a good way to learn culture
to go and
because the people that are teaching you, they'll talk about the food. They'll talk about the food relates to the culture you're in. So sometimes doing market tours and stuff like that is really, really kind of a cool
and we
thing.
did a great market tour in
Italy
and Rome.
The walks of Italy. That's we used them. They did a really nice job. And then we sometimes take college students to Europe, and we used them for a tour of the Sistine Chapel. And we got to go in early, and that was really kind of cool. So that's nice. Sebastian, I have heard the best tacos are in Tijuana. I need to get back down there next time when I'm in San Diego. Head down there. You guys are awesome down there. I miss Mexico. God, that place is awesome. My dad's
William asks how many passports have you filled up, and what was it like to fill up your first one?
Let's see. Like
Mark, you've overfilled a few. Tell him about the overfill.
Okay. So back in the day,
let me get some water.
Okay, should we check on Caleb? See how he's doing. So back in the day, like when you have your passport in the U.S., you can get a normal passport or you can get the fat passport, which has like an extra 40 pages or 25 pages, 24 pages, something like that. But back in the day, like if you ran out of space, they would just like tape in another like 24 pages. And so when I lived in Lithuania, I'd have to, you travel a lot. So everywhere you had to get stamp. So I had like 13, 14 pages just of Lithuania, Latvia. And so I just kind of put in, so it was like this thick. It was crazy. Now they don't let them do that anymore. Now you just have to get a new passport. So I've had to get a new passport because I didn't do that. Another time, my passport got ripped. I flew into England and the guy was asleep. And I'm like, hi, can you give me, oh, okay. And he swiped it. Hit it on like the swiper thing, ripped my passport, and I was going to China to go teach that summer. I'm like, I can't have a passport that's all ripped up. Like, I'm sure it'll be fine. No, I don't think so. So I had to get a new passport. So that was one time. It did not get filled up when I had to get a new one. Olga, yes, we will be going to UAE. Eventually, we will get to there. I'm not sure when that is, but that is one of our plans and things. A place we do want to go. Kids-friendly music places in Nashville, Alexander. If you go on Broadway during the day, you'll see a lot of people, there's people playing music all day long. So you'll find some places there and some that are more like restaurant-y, foodie kings. They might let you bring your kids in for a while. It's just late night, evening, you wouldn't want them there. So there is that. So I will tell you that one. Finn, worst hospitality. Well, I know that I did not like how the Swiss treated my wife and my son because we were traveling with kids. That's one of the bad hospitality things I had once. But Switzerland's a great place to go if you got the money for it. But it was just really weird. Like people were like following us around. Like that kid can't come in this museum. Like why not? He likes this.
At the Picasso Museum. That was terrible. This lady was like, I swear she thought my 4-year-old son was gonna like steal some paintings. It was awful.
So Hillsboro, my Dominic, good to see you, buddy. I know I messed up your name before. It was Nevsky. I'm sorry, Nevsky. So how to navigate the massive Tokyo Metro? It's not as complicated as it looks. It's just bigger, but it's simple to do, and people are so friendly, and it's so organized. Yes, during the rush hour, it's crazy.
Organization
but
is
the organization
great.
is
Just avoid rush hour.
Yeah.
Hours.
Yep. Bob Smith, thank you for the super chat, man.
you.
That's so nice of you. Thank you so much. So let's see. Erwin writes, "Hey guys, congrats! You guys are one of the few with really good tips for traveling. Thank you very much. We love it. Me and my wife are on a world. Oh dang it! See where'd he go? On a world travel on this moment. Start our own channel, Mary Around the World. We'll check it out. So we're glad we could help you on your travels.
Can you talk to Holly G?
Holly G. Hey Holly G. Hi guys. I'm 15 right now. And I'm really interested in traveling abroad to Italy through Rotary senior year. How do I convince my very strict parents? Thank you so much for your amazing videos." So we have a bunch of videos. I actually have a video on what parents should know about study abroad. So look up in YouTube, Wolters World, Parents Study Abroad. There's a thing on there. I filmed it in London. One of the things you should probably explain, like one, Rotary International is a really good one. You're going to be in 3 families when you're there. They're all Rotarian families. So it's like, like they're usually... like making more money, like you're not higher income bracket family you're going to stay in, which is kind of it gives you a different perspective on things. They have counselors for you.
Checking, though.
Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff.
Known.
Yeah. But I would say explain to them why you want to do it, like to see the world, to see what's going on, and understanding. You learn so much about yourself and the world. It really opens your eyes for things. The thing is, parents will be parents. They'll be worried about you no matter what. And if they don't let you go, you always got college, so don't worry. So there is those things. But I went to on Rotary International Exchange to Australia when I was in high school, and I went to in Finland when I was in high school as well, and they did a nice job. So I hope that helps a little bit.
Yeah,
but check out some of those videos.
It helps so much that we send Christmas cards to both of those people in both those countries. It's something that is kept up throughout his life and on into mine and our children's too.
Yeah, we were in Finland last year.
Good people.
Or year before, we got to see my host family. I got to see my kids and Liam. We're just loving on them. It was just a really great thing. So it was really, really nice. We're jumping around. It's jumping around on us.
It's bouncing and I can't see squat. Okay.
Well, Henry's back.
Hi,
Thanks, Henry.
Thank you.
Thanks, buddy. You're putting our kids through college.
I swear.
We're gonna have a trip called the Henry Martinez trip. So Mark and Jocelyn, do you guys think you'll be able to travel more extensively when reaching 1 million subs? In other words, will that make up not having sponsors? I would love to learn how all this works. Actually, on my other channel, the Professor Wolters channel, I will be going through how YouTubers make money and all this kind of stuff. And 1 million subscribers will make us more attractive for sponsors. That's true. But here's one of the things is there's an old saying in YouTube, more views means more subscribers, but more subscribers does not mean more views. You want people watching your videos because you don't make money on subscribers. You make it on those commercials that play before the videos and in the middle of videos and stuff like that. You get like 0.0001 cent. So you really have to, if they watch it, if they don't click the skip ad. And I'm working on a video right now to hopefully come on the channel next week. 10 ways you can help your favorite YouTuber for free. Like watching the video all the way through, clicking subscribe, clicking that notification bell so you actually get their videos in your feed because YouTube doesn't show that to you unless you've watched like 3 of their videos in the last week. So there's a lot of stuff in there, okay? So I hope that helps out, buddy. So, sorry, hey, 20-year travel versus 30-year travel. I actually have a video on traveling your 30s. Yeah, yeah.
Was it different?
Yeah, so just go to our channel. Different. You'll find that one. We have another video on traveling your 20s, so tips like that. So there's those things.
Is Tybee Island worth a day or a few days? You know what? We locals call Tybee the Redneck Riviera. And definitely a day. But you can see so much unless you just need a really thorough beach day and not see the other fun little things. Maybe 2, but spend most of your time in the city.
So Dudley Do Right asks, on your 500,000K video, a picture on the wall, the vertical image on the left is and then the horizontal street image of the horizontal street
Dudley,
image.
You were looking really close.
Yeah, that's in Peru. No, on the far left. Yeah, that was in Peru. That was in the very far left is Peru.
And you know what? It's not of a real place. I just bought it in Peru, and it was sort of their take on what would have maybe been. So that's it.
So time for a kiss. See, when Wonder where you were. I get no love without you, my friend.
That's not true.
So one word to describe the UK, France, Italy, Spain, USA. USA, nature. Spain, party. Italy, culture. France, food. UK, pub. But obviously you know why I'm this size. Those are the words that pop out of my head. Henry Martinez, check out socialblade.com and search Wolters World and give you an idea of how much money they make. Yeah, I'll tell you, if you do that, put it in the middle. It's not the high end, it's not the low end, it's like the middle.
Yeah.
To give you what's there. It's just so you know. JK1776, hello again. Getting to Europe, Frankfurt, Berlin, Krakow, Auschwitz. Will this be a train only for travel logistics?
It would be easy to do.
It's easy to do, but those are long train rides, and the trains in Germany are expensive. So you could actually, maybe the train to Berlin, then fly from Berlin to Krakow. Otherwise, you're taking an overnight train to Krakow for that. So there is that way. Way away, love that 10 ways to help your favorite YouTubers. I'm looking forward to that one. Yeah, I'm editing it right now. So hopefully, because I want to get the travel stuff out this weekend, so it'll be out latest next week. So
Will Davis, yes, he has been told he looks like a younger, cooler Mario Batali. He actually was Mario Batali one year for
Halloween.
Halloween.
And actually, when I would go to Savannah and I'd walk around by myself, people would be like, "Are you that chef?" I'm like, "No, no, I'm not." But thank you. I was like, if I would have had the Crocs, they're like, if you would have had the Crocs on, I would have known. I'm like, yeah, no, it's not me.
Is
sadly.
Rio safe for a single mom and a 13-year-old boy? I probably wouldn't do it with my 13-year-old son. I've been there and I speak Portuguese.
If you do go, I would stay at Leme Beach.
Be really careful.
That is the safest place to be, safest beach there. And then you got, go up to Christ Redeemer and Sugarloaf if you want to do those things. But
you can't see a whole lot that, I've been there. I speak Portuguese. My son is 12 and I wouldn't go alone with him. I just wouldn't feel great. It's not that it's awful, but I'd feel better if Mark was there. So I always feel better if Mark's there.
Oh, thank you. Sean Weed, have you been to Augusta, Maine? Yes, I have. Many, many years ago. My mom worked around there in the summers when she was in high school and college. And so we've gone back up there. We've done Maine trips. It's really beautiful up there. Maine's well worth going to see. Like the leaf peeping and stuff up there is great. But I want to go on this question. Nick, I'm a senior in high school from Texas and traveling with 2 friends to Madrid and Valencia, leaving this Monday for 9 days. It'll be my first time traveling abroad without an adult. Any advice for us? Don't trust anyone. Okay?
Don't get drunk.
Don't get drunk. Don't get crazy. Try the wine if you're 18, because that's the limit there. But be smart about it. Don't go crazy with it. And honestly, where you're gonna stay, don't tell people where you're staying. Okay, if you don't know who they are and stuff like that. Be careful of the over friendly tourist. But the thing is, in Madrid and Valencia, those are pretty legit places to go travel. So there's a lot of stuff that you can do. You don't have to worry about it. You can
stay together.
Yeah, the beaches in Valencia. Go hit the beach in Valencia. It's kind of cool. There's some stuff there. But Valencia, I thought was really cool. You have a good time when you're there. Just don't be silly about your safety, and you'll be okay. We have a bunch of videos on safety travels. Watch those before you go. And also, get your data package and your international stuff on your phone. So if you need to make a call, you can call somebody so you can get you out of trouble. Because a lot of people I meet, like college students I'll see, they're like, oh, I'll just use Wi-Fi calling. Everything will be fine. I'm like, no, it won't, because you're not going to always have Wi-Fi. And when you really need it, it's not going to work. So that would be one thing I'd say there. Joseph Pollard, have we ever been to Idaho? No, sadly, we have not been.
I have.
Oh, you have? Oh,
I
sorry.
was young, like 7, but I've been there.
Sorry, I'm a horrible
My
person.
life wasn't just, it didn't begin when I met you. It did.
Mine did. I don't remember anything
so many
before
ways. Jose, obrigada. Forced to book a flight with a layover. If options are available, how long between flights would you recommend, especially inexperienced travelers? Depends on the airport, but we really like to have 3-hour layovers just in case.
Yeah, because that gives you a chance for a delay.
Early.
And the thing is, and also the airport you're through, because if you're going through Paris and you're going from non-Schengen to Schengen, their passport control takes forever. But if you're flying from Amsterdam, I have a flight going through Amsterdam later this year, and I only have an hour for my international flight to my European flight, but I'm not worried about it at all because they're so good in Amsterdam that I'm not worried about it. So it really depends on that. But yeah, like Jocelyn says,
3 hours.
3 hours
kind of my
is plenty
average that I'd like.
Because let's say if you're late, you're gonna be an hour late. Okay, so there's 2 hours. And then you got to figure out if it's your first time traveling, I might need a half hour to find the place. That gives me an hour and a half, and then it's a half hour before when they actually board. So you got an hour left. That gives you time to grab a bite to eat and go to the bathroom. So that would be what I'd say. So I hope that helps, Jose.
Can you answer that for Tina Braxton? Because I don't
she
know
is.
how that goes. I'm right.
Okay,
underway.
Tina Braxton writes, is it okay when riding a train to reserve an extra seat and put my luggage on it? I'm past the age for lifting heavy stuff above my head, but I want to ride trains so I can see the scenery. You can do that, and if people complain, you can say I bought. You can just say this is reserved, and I have the ticket, and show the reservation because you bought the reservation. But the thing is, you might need to buy the seat as well. So then you can say, look, I got the seat and I got the reservation, because in Europe the reservation is not always with the seat. Like you buy a ticket. Sorry, the reservation isn't always with a ticket. So you can get like a $3 reservation, but then you have a $50 ticket, €50 ticket, and so that's one of those things there. So you might have to buy another ticket. So. The thing is, a lot of the trains in Europe, they won't they won't just have the above luggage stuff. They'll have it at the end of the train, and you can just put it there. So that might be something to look into. But
and definitely, if Mark's on the train, he always puts luggage up for people.
Yeah. Darian Glover, my spaghetti ice man.
I think
good to
New
see you, buddy.
Braunfels, Texas is the answer.
Yes,
that's my best bet.
What for? What?
He wants to know where he can get spaghetti ice in the States.
Oh yeah, that would be your best bet.
Oh yeah. Look what Liam found. Hang on, I'm gonna introduce this to you and your brother and the rest of America real quick, or the world. So Mark had boys
Stop,
don't
Caleb.
fight.
Man, you can't be your shirt on.
So Mark had posted something the other day just about the things we take with us, and one was we never go anywhere without Uno, and so Uno caught it and sent us Uno Flip, and. Yeah.
I wasn't asking for anything. They're like,
no, we were just.
They're like,
we
because you
were,
because we were walking around Target, and I'm like, remember I was, because Jocelyn's looking at something. I'm like sitting around the toy section. I see the Uno stuff. I'm like, man, we played a lot of good Uno, and I just took a picture of it. And like, hey, FYI, that's why if you go to our shop, if you go to our store. There's stuff. It's in the links there.
And
it's in there.
One of the things we never travel without. So they sent us Uno Flip, which is you can flip the cards and you can see people's cards.
It becomes draw 5. So yeah, so it's kind of cool. Also, want to grab a shirt? Go to shopwoltersworld.com. We got a lot of different ones coming out, so that's kind of cool. So the way away asked, do you guys use a travel credit card? We just got the Chase Sapphire and I've loved the travel points and Priority Pass. Is this something you'd consider? We use the Delta American Express because we use Delta. And that's the thing is, if you're going to use a travel credit card, make sure it's something that's going to work for you. Like if you travel a lot for work and you're staying at Hilton hotels, get a Hilton card so then you can get the extra points that way and get the extra benefits. We travel internationally so much that using our Delta card, we get our Delta points and stuff like that. So we get,
and we don't have fees for international
stuff.
I gotta go put our kids to bed.
Yeah. So I'll
love you.
I love you.
Good night, y'all. See you later.
So
happy travels.
Yes. I love you. And so that's one thing I always look at. And when you're looking to get one of those cards, look, obviously the interest rate's the biggest thing. You got to look out for that. But what I always look for is, does that airline actually fly near my house? Because I may love Delta, but if there's no Delta flights near me, it's not really going to pay off. So you want to make sure you do that. But look and see which one gives you the best sign-up bonus, because sometimes you even get a free flight with a sign-up bonus, or they give you enough miles for a free flight. But one of the big things a lot of these things have is a very high yearly fee. So do be careful with that. Okay. So I know there's the points guy who talks all about this kind of stuff, but he gets a kickback for every card someone signs up with. And he's honest. He says, look, this is things that I get money for. And so there are those things, because you got to pay the bills. I mean, I'm not going to lie to you for that, but do be careful with that. Time for a kiss. Where can you get a free cheap shower without lodging? Some train stations and airports do have shower facilities in them. So that would be something you have to look up for that one. So it's hard to say. Adam Scheuler, where would the best places to travel in Europe during December? I would say Germany, Austria, Czech Republic, Strasbourg in France, Switzerland, because you have all the Christmas markets, and it's really a great time to be there because people are out and about, and you're drinking the hot wine and eating the food and stuff like that, and you can go see the museums during the day, and that's one of the things I really like. That's my kind of favorite part to be in during that. I like that someone who wrote, I got the Delta card because of you. They owe you one. Thanks. I guess I should put a link up there so I could get that, but I appreciate it, man. Thank you. Todd writes, you think Japan would be the safest, loneliest place for a 7-year-old woman writer to wander alone in, or do you suggest a European city? You'll be super safe in Japan, and no one will bother you if you want to write, because in Japan, tourists aren't really anything special. They're just there. So you will be, if you want to be alone, Japan can make it very, very, very easy for you to do that and feel safe and do things. What's up? Okay. So some other ones down here. Night, buddy. I love you. I'll be up in a little bit. What time is it? Where we're at? It's 9 o'clock at night. So we've gone on for about an hour. I'll go for about another 10 minutes, and I gotta read to the boys and make sure they got their homework done and stuff like that. Yes, Zoran 27. Yes, Japan is very safe. Um, Eli Katz. So wait, you really don't have a lounge card? No, I don't, because most of the places I fly to don't have lounges, or I'm not spending enough time because of layovers that it's not really worth it. Though if I'm flying with code shares with Delta and stuff like that, we're both, my wife and I are both platinum, so we can visit the lounges like that. So there are those, but I don't have those things. Just I some lounges are awesome. Like I was in the Virgin Atlantic Lounge in Heathrow, and it was really cool. Like good food, amazing service, super nice people, great food, great drinks, stuff like that. But I've been other ones where it's like they're just like here's a thing of soup and some crappy crackers, and I'm like, why am I paying $50? Why would anybody pay $50 to be in here? And so like, you know what? I'd rather be out with the normal people and just hanging out with them and seeing people when they're going around enjoying their travels. It helps me meet more people and stuff like that. So that's just me. So, but I do like the lounges, but I don't go to them all the time. But I will say, don't be afraid to pay for the lounge if you got like a long layover, just because you're gonna get food in there anyway, and you get drinks when you're in there, and also gives you space to be away from things. And someone will actually tell you when your flight's ready, so you know when to go to get to your destination. Not all of them do though, so have a heads up for that. G writes, do you ever read when you travel? If so, what was the last book you took with you? So when I travel to a destination, all I'm doing, I'm reviewing my notes, I'm reading guidebooks, I'm doing everything I can to prepare for filming and knowing as much as I can about the destination I'm going to go to. But when I'm done with the trip and I'm done with all the filming, I'll grab like a Lee Child book, like Jack Reacher, like the spy thriller kind of thing. I'll grab one of those and read that. Or if I with the kids, like we went through the 13 How to Train Your Dragon books. I'll read that to the boys when through the airport and going through those and things like that. But it's travel and history and culture on the way there and while we're there. But once I'm done filming, it's like I want the crime novel or the spy novel and stuff like that. So we have those things. Did you try the traditional pie mash and liquor when you visited London? Robbo writes, I have before, not on this last trip though. JK1776, I'm glad you think the chats are fantastic. I really, really love doing those. We love doing this because we love getting to interact with you because it lets us know where places people want us to go. Like a lot of people like India, Israel, stuff like that. We've got it on the list now because we see that's where our fellow travelers want us to go. What did Jeremy say? That is awesome. So, okay. So Jeremy Stites, do you ever buy a souvenir for the place you travel? I try to find a copy of my favorite book in every country I visit. That is very cool, having the different languages. I actually have like Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings. I have in about 3 or 4 languages, and I like to read those in there. It helps you like really know this because I'm like, I know the story enough. I'm like, even the weird words in Lord of the Rings, I'm like, oh, that's that guy. So it is kind of a cool thing. But what we buy, if you watch our 500,000 subscriber live feed, you'll see a wall behind the TV that has a bunch of paintings that we got when we travel. We get those. You go around our house, we have tons of paintings around, like there's one over there, and there's one over there, and there's more of them all around. So we do things like that. Iroquois Pliskin, Dr. Wolters. First off, you took my class. You wouldn't call me Dr. Wolters. You just say Mark. But thank you. I took marketing with you in fall 2016. You're a wonderful, enthusiastic professor who made class engaging and fun. Thanks for that. Congrats on 500,000 subs. Thank you very much. I'm sorry I can't give you any extra credit now all these years later, but I'm glad our videos could help out. I'm glad the class went really well. That is one thing I really love my teaching. Iroquois was probably a student I loved because I really do love my students and I want to do the best for them. And so I put the passion you see in my travel videos. I try to put that passion in my classes because students pay a lot of money to go to college these days, and I want to make sure they get every class I go to. I'm like, hey, these people are paying a lot of money to be here. I can't half-ass this. I got to make sure they gets their money's worth. And so that's one thing I try to do, and I'm really glad when I see my old students write that like I actually did it sometimes. So thank you, Ilko Poliskin. That's really nice of you. I appreciate it. Let's see. The Irish Guy Vlogs. Hey, Wolters, congrats on 500,000 subscribers. Thank you very much, and thank you for the super chat. You deserve it. Thank you. Your videos are so helpful with my travels. Do you plan on coming back to Ireland anytime soon? So we were going to do a family road trip for Ireland, Northern Ireland this October. That's gotten postponed because we have a family birthday we're going to go to, a big birthday for one of our friends. So we're the family, friends and family kind of thing. So we're going to do a trip with them back to France. So right now, October 2020, we're going to be back in Ireland. I wish I could go sooner because Ireland's awesome and you all should go there. So definitely check that out. Cam, any idea for some Northern California videos? I'm just going to be in LA later this year. That's all we have for that one. But I know we will get up to Southern California eventually. It's one of the San Francisco and all around there has been one of our most requested videos. So or place to go. So there will be some there. And yes, now I'm playing fetch. My dog is like, what are you gonna do? Let's see what else. Would I ever visit Philadelphia? Yes, Matthew, I'd definitely visit Philadelphia. And if I say that, my mom hears it, she's like, I'll go with you. Like she'll book the tickets, like, we should go together. I'm like, you already have tickets, Mom. Yes. So it's kind of funny. Phil Lynn, any tips on visiting Mall of America? Have a lot of time when you're there and go enjoy the stuff that's there. There's tons of things there. Have a good time. But just remember it's a big mall. So there's a roller coaster inside. You can enjoy that. So those things. Break, climb. Thank you. Ottawa. We were actually in Ottawa, and I had videos I filmed there, but they're so old now, I don't want to put them up. Like I didn't have a beard, I had short hair, and I'm like, I don't know if I can put those up now because when I filmed it, I filmed one part, like one of the hates I filmed. I don't know where I filmed it. So I'm like, I can't have the 511 hates and don't have one of the hates, so I didn't put it up. It kind of got postponed. Maybe I'll put it up for like a throwback Thursday kind of thing. Like here's an old video. Check this out. Top sites in Ottawa and what the love and hate about Ottawa because things change. Like that's why I don't see as many of my love and hate videos anymore because I know those things change a lot. So the traditional culture dumps and culture shocks, those stay more true to form. But I mean, still a lot of love and hate still are pretty much right on. Sujin Miyumi, will you ever visit Arizona? We have. We have a video on Tucson and top 10 sites in Arizona and 5 love and hates in the Southwest U.S. All filmed in Arizona. University of Arizona is a really cool place. You want to go there with a mountain. We really enjoyed that. Of course, you got the Grand Canyon up north, so there's some good stuff there. Let's see. Okay, last chance. Rio, Sao Paulo. Opinions for 3 adults. Tourist, Rio. I'll be honest, Sao Paulo is not really a tourist kind of place. It's a go live there, work there, shop there, eat there, drink there, but it's not really a big tourist place. So I'll give you that one. Oh, cool, Jonathan Hitt. I'm glad you like the chat, and I'm glad you found us and subscribed. That's really cool of you. Let's see. Best places in Nashville, Charleston, and Savannah with a 10-year-old kid. In Savannah, do one of the ghost tours. That's kind of cool. Also, go out to Tybee Island and go have some beach time when you're there.
The Children's Museum.
The Georgia State Railroad Museum is really nice. That's something for them to do. The kids tend to like. And the Children's Museum is really new. So like they got some.
It's a lot of outdoor stuff in that too.
Yeah. So you have a good time with that one. Let's see.
I just threw it over there, dog. Greg, look.
Sorry, I'm trying to.
It's over there.
Trying to clean up some of the people putting naughty things in there. Yeah, like Jocelyn's back. Everybody start behaving. Indeed. Dominic, we will be back to North Carolina. I'm sure we got to see our friend Sarah again, and we got to get back there for that. I actually have one more Outer Banks video to put out, but I don't know if beach videos are really the best thing to put out. Well, I guess it would be a good time now because it's starting to get nice there, so we give that. Ricardo, what's wrong? I give up because you're too famous for me. No, it's because we have 400,000 of these things that are coming through, and we're trying to answer as many as we can.
What did somebody say about me? I know my girlfriend just
you're back.
She just messaged me and said your face when you sat down made my night.
Yeah, Ricardo, I can't find your post. I'm scrolling back and back and can't find anything, buddy. I'm not forgetting you. Don't worry. Mark, Jocelyn will divorce you. Probably, because she's so awesome.
You. I'm not. I love you. You're my favorite.
Thank you, baby. I love you too. What will be fun for a family in London? Actually, going around London just itself and seeing the sights, the changing the guards, really kind of a fun thing to do. Do not do Madame Tussauds Wax Museum. At least I would, because it's so expensive that I don't know if it's really worth it. Because you can go to the British Museum and see the mummies and the Greek stuff and all these things and see some cool things there. So there's a lot of free things you can do in London, like going to some like Notting Hill and places like that. You can see some really cool parts of the city that you can see with the family and really enjoy and see. Big Ben's covered up now. The tower's covered up, so you can't see that, but you can still see Parliament. You go see the Globe and stuff like that, so it can be pretty good.
Julian Martin is going to Ireland and planning on renewing vows there in a couple of years.
Cool.
So advice for times, venues, etc. I don't know about times unless you're talking about times of the year, and strictly speaking, pick whenever it looks like it's going to be least rainy. So summer. But even at that, you'll have like a shower almost every day, but usually they're pretty quick. If it were me and if I were renewing my vows, I would do it somewhere well outside the cities. I love, it's just little villages. Let's name a few. Dingle, that's a sweet place, right?
Yeah, Kinsale. I love Kinsale.
That's another
nice.
one. I love Galway, but I would still want to be out in the country somewhere. See if you can't find a really great B&B that still has a peat fire and, just sort of away from everything else, because the beauty of Ireland is in its people and its land, not necessarily its cities. Although they're great and they're fun, I would definitely get out.
Okay, so I got a few questions we got to take off. So Alexander is asking about Savannah again. Hey, Mark, I forgot to mention my 10-year-old likes history, food, music, and sports. So you can watch the Bananas. That's their baseball team that's there. The food, there's great food everywhere. And so you have that.
Okay, so the Savannah History Museum is also rolled into the History Museum. It's Tricentennial Park, and I used to work for them. And
Full disclosure.
yes,
we're
but I know it intimately. I actually rebuilt part of it with my own two bare hands.
Full
so
disclosure.
you have the Railroad Museum. You have a Revolutionary War fort, and there's a great monument there. There's a lot all right in that one place. With that, you can also buy tickets to those sites, as well as Old Fort Jackson, which is my favorite place to spend a quiet morning, and also Pinpoint, which is really rich in African American history. So I would go and check those things out. Definitely get there. So food, downtown Savannah is great. I love Cotton and Rye. And music is in lots of places. So check those out.
So some other questions. Visit Pittsburgh, Tom. We'll get there. Don't worry. So you can send me your tips and what we should see. So William Charlock writes, "Hello again. I'd like to travel with my parents and grandparents. What have been the best and worst trips with your parents and or grandparents?" So with my parents are the grandparents, we're the parents, and we have the kids. What's great about it is you get to have so many like real stories with your family, and you really get to build really great memories with all multiple generations. So when you go visit grandma, you're not just talking about baking cookies, you're talking about the time you were at the Great Wall of China or when you were in Germany and stuff like that. So that's the best thing. But my advice I would say for multi-generational traveling is realize that everyone's at a different point in their life, so they have different things they want to see, different things they want to do, different amount of money they want to spend, and different food they want to eat. So make sure you give everybody enough like free time and free space and stuff like to like do their own thing, and don't just do one thing.
I think the best trip that we have been on with the three generations was our driving trip through Scotland. That was still one of my favorites. And it was because it incorporated all of those things. We could stop, we could go, and make it our own.
So Paul Goodry writes, "How many countries have you been to altogether?" I've been to 56. Jocelyn's been to 45. Kayla's been to 42, and Liam's at 37. 37. So our goal
and adding.
And we're adding about 10 more this year. So we're adding on. We're gonna get the kids to 100 before when they're going off to college. So we have our goals to get there. But I mean, since we work and we've got the kids are in school, we can't get like all of them in 1 year like that. You won't really experience a culture. So we're trying to space them out so we can get them over the next 6 to 10 years to get the kids all these places. So there's some really nice stuff. Anyway, Paul, I'm glad I got your name right. That's nice. Yes, Alexander, there is a train museum, and if you go on the weekends, sometimes they actually run the train on the turntable, which it goes in and goes around. That's kind of cool.
chsgeorgia.org. That's where you'll get some good information on all that.
Thank you, Jack's Films. Thank you for the congratulations. Thank you, everybody that's been writing congratulations and all those things and all these wonderful comments. It really means a lot to us, and we do feel bad that we can't answer every single one on there. So all those people that get really upset with us that you ignored my questions, we did ignore. There's just so many up there. We just want you to know that we really care. We really, really care. Is that Rob from Trip Hacks? Oh, my good buddy. If you're going to DC, Trip Hacks DC. My buddy Rob.
Brilliant.
Brad got great videos. Anything you want to know, he'll take care of you, man.
Excellent
He's
guy.
awesome, and he's a good guy too, which is like a double whammy.
Yeah.
So do your kids watch the older videos? The kids don't watch the videos except when I put them on, and I'll show them when they're
Their
little.
friends watch
Their
them.
friends watched them, and the kid's like, I don't remember that. I was like, yeah, you were climbing all over your dad. He's like, I was like 2. Yeah, well, there you go. Scariest travel story. When we found out Jocelyn had to go on bed rest for 4 months when she was pregnant with Liam when we were abroad.
Was that travel when we lived
Well, we
there?
lived there, so I don't know if that's travel. That was abroad. kind of
Scariest
stuff.
is when Liam crushed his hand in the door. It was a 10-foot steel and glass door in Beijing. We had to go to 3 hospitals.
On the hinge.
Yeah, on the hinge side. So I didn't even know what to do.
Yeah, or when Caleb cracked his head open so you could see his skull. That was another one.
Rode an ambulance. That was fun.
Yeah, holding his head together. That was fun.
Covered in blood.
Fun. Anyway, we're gonna leave off with that wonderful thoughts. Thank you, Tyler. Thank you. I'm glad you love the channel. Henry, you have a great, and thank you so much, everyone with the super chats. Henry, you have a great night too. William, there's been some crazy animals we've seen around, and one thing I'll say is if an animal you think it's cute and people tell you not to play with it when you're traveling, don't, because we've seen people get some really bad injuries. Excuse me, that
Eli,
way. So
we
do be
plan
careful.
on it.
So,
Okay.
All right.
Hey, bye.
Anyway, we'll say
there's
thank you.
Carson.
Hey, Carson.
Bye, y'all.
Bye. Thank you for everything.
Thanks.
Thank you for the congratulations. Thank
Thanks
you. We
for
couldn't have done this.
500.
Yes, we couldn't have done that without
Awesome.
you. If you want to grab a shirt, go to shop.woltersworld.com. We're going to have them for about 2 weeks online to print them up so we can get them out to you as soon as we can so we can have that. But we want to say thank you to everyone. Y'all are awesome. You're all great. Night way away. Y'all be great. Have fun at Thailand. Looking forward to some new cool videos from there. And y'all be good. Safe travels, everybody.
Bye.